Welcome to Birthright Battles, Lessons in Faith and Choices, Esau versus Reuben. Walk with God, Episode 4. Please like and hit the subscribe button. Two heirs, same ending. Here's their story. Both Esau and Reuben were potential heirs of Abraham's promise, who forfeited their birthrights due to actions perceived as ungodly, disrespectful, and unworthy. Although their specific behaviors differed, the consequences and outcomes of their actions were the same. The anatomy. The anatomy of their stories reveals how disrespect, lack of faith, and poor choices can lead to serious, irreversible consequences. Esau forfeits his birthright for immediate gratification. Esau's story. Biblical context. Esau's story is found primarily in Genesis 25 and Genesis 27. He was the elder twin son of Isaac and Rebekah, and by tradition, he was entitled to the birthright, which carried both material inheritance and spiritual blessings. Esau's offense. The disrespectful behavior. Esau's primary offense is detailed in Genesis 25, 29-34, where he sells his birthright to his younger twin brother, Jacob, in exchange for a simple meal, a bowl of lentil stew. Esau's hunger. Esau, after returning from the field, was extremely hungry, and when Jacob offered him food in exchange for his birthright, well, Esau agreed without any hesitation. Useless birthright. He remarked, "What good is the birthright to me?" Genesis 25:32. Demonstrating a lack of appreciation for the spiritual and material value of the birthright. Key issues. Immediate gratification. Esau traded his long-term inheritance and spiritual leadership for immediate physical satisfaction. Impulsive, short-sighted. This act is seen as an impulsive and short-sighted decision, reflecting his disregard for the future and the significance of his birthright. Consequence. Esau loses the spiritual blessings associated with the birthright, which would eventually go to Jacob. Deep regret. Later, when Isaac blesses Jacob instead of Esau, Genesis 27, Esau is left with a lesser blessing and deep regret. Lost blessings. Although Esau becomes successful in other ways, his forfeiting of the birthright represents a missed opportunity to be part of the covenant blessings promised to Abraham's descendants. Symbolism. In Christian theology, Esau is sometimes used as a symbol of worldliness, choosing earthly desires over spiritual promises. Loss of promise. The loss of his birthright due to a momentary lapse of judgment is seen as a failure to value spiritual heritage and God's ultimate plan. Reuben forfeits his birthright due to immoral behavior. Reuben's story. Biblical context. Reuben's story is scattered across various passages in Genesis, particularly Genesis 35:22, 37:21-22, 49:3-4. He was the firstborn son of Jacob and Leah. and as the eldest, he was entitled to the birthright. Sexual relations. The disrespectful behavior. Reuben's disqualification for his birthright came after a grave moral failure. In Genesis 35:22, Reuben had sexual relations with Bilhah, his father Jacob's concubine wife, and the mother of two of his half-brothers, Dan and Naphtali. Personal betrayal. This act was not only a personal betrayal, but also seen as a challenge to Jacob's authority. While the Bible only briefly mentioned this incident, its repercussions were significant. Key issues. Immoral behavior. Immoral behavior and betrayal. Reuben's act is considered deeply disrespectful towards his father, violating family honor and demonstrating a lack of self-control and integrity. Jacob's authority. In ancient Near Eastern culture, such actions were seen as a challenge to the father's leadership and authority, making Reuben unworthy of the leadership role that the firstborn would inherit. Consequence. Reuben's birthright was forfeited. This was confirmed in Genesis 49:3-4, where Jacob, on his deathbed, declares that although Reuben was his firstborn and the first sign of his strength, he would no longer excel because he was unstable as water due to his sin. Birthright was split. Judah received the leadership and kingly line to later King David and the Messiah. He becomes the leader of the tribe of Judah. He was Jacob's fourth son from Leah. Joseph received a double portion of the inheritance, later divided between Joseph's sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. He was Jacob's 11th and favored son, the firstborn of Rachel. Symbolism. Reuben represents the consequences of moral failure and how it can disqualify one from leadership, even if they are the natural heir by birth. His impulsive and disrespectful behavior toward his father's household is a key reason for the loss of his birthright. Comparison of Reuben and Esau's loss of birthrights. Nature of disrespect. Esau traded his birthright for a meal, showing disregard for its value. Reuben slept with his father's concubine, showing disrespect for his father's authority and household. Reason for forfeiture. Esau, immediate gratification, valued short-term satisfaction over long-term inheritance. Reuben, immoral behavior, betrayed his father's trust and violated family honor. Type of birthright. Spiritual and material inheritance. As firstborn of Isaac, forfeited blessings of the covenant by Esau. Reuben, firstborn, status among Jacob's sons, forfeited leadership and double portion of inheritance. Result, Esau. Jacob received the birthright, and Esau lived with a lesser blessing. Esau's descendants, the Edomites, were not part of the covenant promises of Abraham. Reuben, the birthright was divided. Judah received the leadership, kingly line, and Joseph received the double portion. Reuben's tribe did not excel in leadership. Moral lesson, Esau. Esau is a symbol of impulsiveness and worldliness, failing to value spiritual blessings. Reuben is a symbol of immorality and instability, losing his privileged position through disrespectful actions. Judgment by the father. Esau. Isaac unknowingly blessed Jacob instead of Esau, fulfilling God's plan. Genesis 27. Reuben. Jacob explicitly condemned Reuben's actions on his deathbed. Genesis 49, 3-4. Conclusion. Both Reuben and Esau lost their birthrights due to acts that demonstrated a lack of respect for the responsibilities and privileges of the firstborn. Esau's impulsive behavior and disregard for his birthright contrasted with Reuben's moral failure and disrespect for his father's authority. While their paths differed, the outcomes were similar. Both were disqualified from their rightful inheritance, which passed to others more worthy or chosen by God. So, did the sons receive just punishments? Yes or no? You decide. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Check out other Walk with God podcast episodes.